Today, I will show you how to escape the expert entrepreneur hamster wheel and scale your business to consistent 30,000 to 100,000 months without burning out or hiring a big team or posting 24/7. And by the end of this session, you will have a clear framework that we and our clients have used to grow fast, sustainably, and profitably. And you are not stuck because you're doing too little. You are stuck because you're doing the wrong things. You have come here because you probably work tirelessly from morning till night, even on weekends, and you handle everything yourself. Marketing, sales, client work, even get your receipts to the accounting. And you are desperately wondering how on earth can you maintain even this current level of income, let alone scale it without your calendar falling apart? So when you stay until the end of this training, after this live session, you will have a clear plan for how to break free from fragmented work and lead a business that operates even without you. So this live training today is specifically designed for experts, consultants, and coaches who offer individual or group coaching programs, trainings or live events or digital products or services. And as an entrepreneur, you currently are working hard and it feels like all your time goes into managing fragmented, like all different kind of busy work and tasks. And you can't grow your sales without working more right now. So you are thinking like, what is going to be the breakthrough to actually scale the business without having too much on your plate? So you want to build something bigger from your business, but you just don't know how you can do it. The number one question that I ask you to think about is, what is your number one goal right now as an entrepreneur? Feel free to send it on the chat here or just think about it yourself, because I think we always need to have this clear intention of like what we are doing, what we are building, and where we are going to. So let's start by thinking like, what is the number one goal? Feel free to share it on the chat. But after that, if you haven't already, or you actually need it already to think about the first question, take out a pen and paper, because in the next 60 minutes, I will show you how to build a business that works without you doing everything yourself. So why the difference between a 10K a month and a 100K a month business is not about doing more, but it's actually a completely different game. And what is that game? I will show you really concretely through my own calendar, for example, like how does it look different on the entrepreneur's calendar, and how to transition from a fragmented, overworked expert to a visionary owner without your business slowing down or your income dropping. And I will also show you concretely, what does that cost you? Like, what does that actually cost you to delegate and to free your time? And how to scale your business like a giant corporation without adding a single minute to your working hours. And how to multiply your sales with just one small adjustment. And this can be like the one and only thing that will already be the game changer that you can take away from this session. So everything that I mentioned, and how you can do that by eliminating 50% of the tasks that consume your time and energy. And instead of focusing your time on leading the business, creating new opportunities, or enjoying the life you've already worked hard for. So let's we are not going to add more to your plate today, but we are actually going to take from your plate so that you can grow sustainably and in long term. And that is exactly what our client Tellu, for example, did. So in 6 months, she did 240,000 euros in sales through Instagram. And as a bonus, she had more vacations and holidays than ever before. And she's been busy lady, and she only had like, I would say, 2,000 followers on her Instagram that time. So it wasn't even like a huge audience. And also our operations manager, Sana, shared this win from one of our clients, Suvi, who made over 20,000 in sales in 1 week, which was more than she had done in the whole year this year. And she raised her prices also with over 1,000 euros with this method that I'm going to share with you today. And how finally Anna Perho, our client, after 30 years of being an entrepreneur, she finally got the model to scale her expertise without like relying on these low to get cheap online course launches. And with this simple model, she was able to package her expertise and scale that and get like 15 plus clients. I think she got in just less than in a few weeks working with us. Or our clients, Heini and Maria, who were also experienced, skilled entrepreneurs, and they went from zero, from starting a new offer, new business, to 80,000 monthly sales in 8 months. And I have actually broken down this case study on my YouTube channel, and also every other like these client testimonials are found on my YouTube channel, mainly in Finnish. So, but this one is also in English on my YouTube channel. But why should you listen to me? So this is my 9th year as an entrepreneur. And for the past 5.5 years, I have built a multiple 6-figure business by helping others grow theirs. So that was not hype or luck, but by learning, I would say painfully, what actually works for experts like us. And that is how my company, sales and marketing consultancy, Smart Mentoring, has already helped over 500 entrepreneurs package their expertise with a value-based approach and increase their sales with premium clients. And I have also published a nonfiction business book, and I'm a mother of 2 young children, and I'm currently in the process of writing another book, which will be also in English and be about going from solo entrepreneur to a team-based scaled entrepreneur. So that will be published in the beginning of 2026. So I have done a lot of things right, and that is why I am where I am today. But I've also done a lot of things wrong. And I would say, like, maybe you will resonate with this, but like most of the things, like I've launched, like failed launching so many offers and like done so many things that have gone wrong. And that is why my goal for today is that if I had to figure out everything out the hardest way, I want that because you joined today and you're listening to this today, you will get the fast lane at least with one thing, because I know that like as entrepreneurs, we need to go through those hardships and all those lessons ourselves and like those pitfalls. But if there's even one thing that you can take away from this so that you don't need to go through that hardship, I think that is a win for today. So what is my story? How did I end up here? When I started my second company, which is this one in 2020, like Smart Mentoring in 2020, I decided right away that this time I wouldn't do everything alone. I would get help from the start, especially since I was actually pregnant with our first child at the time. So I had been working as a social media manager for years until that point, and had done already working also in corporations. And I knew that I could keep myself employed by like freelancing. But now this time I wanted to build a real business, one with a team, systems, and one that would be scalable. Though I don't even know if I actually knew what that word meant at the time. So what I did, I hired experts for advertising and copywriting support. So I invested also in mentoring, and I built a model that would work without everything being on my shoulders. But things didn't go as planned. Sales did come. I sold over 1,100 online courses, everything from mini workshops to €200 online courses. And I also did podcast sponsorships and social media. And still, the money disappeared to advertising, agencies, and mentor bills. And I couldn't pay myself a salary for almost 2 years. So at the time, the company equity went over 7,300 into the red. And this was back in 2021. And even though there was a team around me, all the work and responsibilities and stress was still on me. So after 18 months of struggling, I really feel that I hit this rock bottom. I was backed against the wall, wondering how on earth I could turn this around. Like, this can't be what I've given my all to for the past 2 years. Either this starts working or this ends here. And I like, my main motivation was that I just didn't want to quit. I loved being an entrepreneur. So that is when I decided to do everything differently. I packaged all my expertise into one premium service. I created a solution to a clear problem. And I pivoted, actually piloted like this, created these pilots and directly contacted these clothing chains and these like bigger corporation companies. And within 12 weeks, I had more money in my bank account than ever before. And it wasn't even that much, like not even 20,000 euros. But by the end of 2021, my company was profitable. And that was the main thing. Like, I could now be peacefully continuing the business. And as you can see, the clients that I got, like maybe you know some of these Lindex couple, I don't know, but these are companies in Finland and in Scandinavia. But I didn't stop there. So I applied the same strategy to online courses because I didn't want to just be in person training those people on those stores. So combining years of experience from online course sales, and then in this B2B, which was so profitable, I didn't need the ad spend. And that is when the sales like exploded. And most importantly, profits also grew. So I grew my business in 2022 with more than 1,000%. So we went from less than 100,000 in a year to almost 900,000 in a year. And I was able to hire a team, outsource sales. As you can see, a screenshot from our Slack channel where our sales team is celebrating their results. And we were also able to move to Portugal with my family at the time. We came back. Now I'm in Helsinki. That would be another topic for another live training. But now I can live a business that no longer depends on my workload. And I help other expert entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants do the same. So build a business where you can do less, but impact more. As you can see, there's also a screenshot of our client group, this Instant Growth Accelerator, where there's hundreds of clients. And I would never in a million years be able to work with that many clients on my own, being a solopreneur. But I wouldn't still say that this is it, because I think that this is just the beginning. My vision isn't just to grow a company. I want to show that expertise can change the world without burning out. I want to do a business that creates wealth, freedom, and impact, especially for women and underrepresented entrepreneurs. And I really think that this is the way to do business in 2025 and moving on from here. And that is why I'm now building a company that doesn't just serve clients, but revolutionizes the entire service entrepreneurship logic. And my goals here are to take the brand international and become a global thought leader in this topic and make it to the Time 100 list and scale to 10 million plus annual revenue. And if there's one thing that unites everyone that I want to take this journey with, it's this, that we are not here just to make money. We are here to leave a mark. And why I'm sharing all of this with you is that I want you to start thinking bigger. This isn't just about your little business, but what can you actually bring into this world? But yeah, so let's go into today's topic. How did I go from 10K a month to 100K month as an expert entrepreneur? Whenever I post about this topic, this is from a post that I have posted on my Instagram last year, and it's gained more than 500,000 people who were interested in this. So I thought that, okay, well, I will have this as a part of my training today. And for me, it's so natural because I have been living with this mentality of 10x is easier than 2x. Please take a screenshot of this or add this to your notes that you need to read this book of 10x is easier than 2x. Like, I have been living with this mentality. That is how I was able to grow my business with more than 1000%. I actually hadn't even read this book before, but now that I have read it multiple times, I knew that I actually were implementing, without me being even aware of it, the same principles in my own life and in my business. And if we look at the calendar of a 10K per month entrepreneurs, like, this is just the reality. You are doing the sales, you are handling all of your clients, you are taking all the client meetings, you are even reporting your receipts to your accounting. You probably don't even have an assistant doing that for you. So this is what it looks like. Like, there isn't even any other way to show it, but busy. You are busy and you're working maybe also on weekends to get everything done. And the difference between 100K per month entrepreneur, this is a direct screenshot of my week on my calendar. And how does it look like? If I'm going to a little bit more detail and explain what it includes, there are bigger blocks of me focusing on long-term vision, brand building, and with strategic work that I wouldn't have time if I was like in the trenches, actually doing the work, taking sales calls, helping the clients. And I have used my time, for example, only this year to network in London. Actually, I think I've been there 3 times already this year, in New York, in Dubai. So I have been attending business events, masterminds, where I have been learning and networking with interesting people, with successful people, so that I can then expand my thinking and my vision and bring that to my clients and to our team. And this is what it has enabled me to do. And I couldn't do this before. Travel so much and like attend all these interesting meetings where I want to attend, because I was doing everything on my own. And that is the reality of a 10K per month entrepreneur. But it's really different when you are doing more in your business. But what does that actually cost you? Like, what does it cost you to have the team running your business? Because actually, one other thing that I still want to mention here is that I have been super consistent. Like, I've never been in such great shape, physically and also mentally, but mainly physically, because, like, as you can see, there's gym, there's reformer Pilates, everything, because my assistant, who I have, is booking those already in advance in my calendar. So I have an assistant who's solely focusing on my energy and keeping my energy levels high so that I can perform best as a CEO. So what does that cost you? The first thing that I would hire, so in this order as well, I would do this. If I started from the start, I didn't actually have first assistant, but if I would do it again, this is one mistake that I would definitely do differently, is that first I would start with an assistant. I don't know the salary ranges in every country, but this is just my personal experience, what it might cost you. It can differ if it's employee or if it's a contractor, but having an full-time assistant would roughly be, at least in here where I live in Finland, 3,500 to 4,500 per month. It doesn't matter if it's a contractor or employee. And then the next thing I would do after freeing up a lot of my time to the assistant, I would get someone taking care of the customer. So client success manager or account manager, doesn't matter the title, but someone who would take care of the customers. So that would be roughly from 4,000 to 5,000 per month. And it would include a base plus bonus. So something that really changed my mind, really blew my mind last year was the idea that I heard from one of the masterminds that I attended in Dublin was that the client success manager should be, it's like self-liquidating role. So when you're a person who is working directly with your clients, they should be also selling more to those clients. So selling the backend offers, selling something new to those current clients. So they're actually self-liquidating their salary. So it's actually an investment, like a sales team member, rather than an expense for your team. And then the third team member would be an appointment setter. So in the beginning, when you have the assistant only, I would have that assistant being the appointment setter as well, because you need that to make it more like easy with you with the sales. And I will show you our sales process in a couple of minutes, but the appointment setter would be someone who would not do cold calling or anything like that, but actually directly from those warm leads that come through your marketing. And that person would then book those people into the salesperson's or sales team or yours calendar. So they would only go through those warm leads that are already coming from your marketing. And then with this system that I'm going to share with you, also the client acquisition system and the sales process, the salesperson should be 100% commission based, no base salary or anything like that. Because there is a difference with the regular salesperson and this type of salesperson, with this model, the appointment setter will be the one booking events and the sales meetings to that salesperson's calendar. So the salesperson won't be prospecting, cold outreaching, or doing anything like that. They are only going to take on meetings that have already been set to their calendar. So that is why they have already all the chances on making money. So that is why they are it's justified to have 100% commission based salary with them. So now if you think about 100,000 euro revenue with a team like that, it's a small team, not even a handful of people. Approximately that would mean 20,000 in investment or expenses for that team in the higher range. So that would mean that approximately you would need 4 to 25 clients per month to get to that 100,000 level. And what I know from my own experience, that with that kind of team, that is still something that you could sustain. And this team could handle that many clients. Maybe at some point you would need another salesperson or another account manager or something. But this will depend on your price range, how many clients you actually need. So if we think about this model, like expert businesses doing this online remotely, this is the most profitable, the highest cash flow business model that there is. Like I have been like I'm a business nerd. Like I study all kinds of businesses, industries, and still I think that this business model, like there isn't any other models that would really easily compete this one. So of course there's downsides and upsides with everything, but I would say that this is the future of like so many entrepreneurs that they want to have this model, because then as you can see, you live with so much profits, and what you can do with the profit, like you can decide, you can either invest that other assets, you can build your own wealth and your family legacy with that profit. Or you can do what I have done for the past couple of years, invest it back to the company to build it even further, to scale the business even further. And that is like, you don't need investors, you don't need venture capital, anything like that in this business model, because you are your own venture capital. You are the funding yourself. So if we think about the goal still to 20K month, 10K to 20K per month, what that would mean, because this is what I know, that was my first goal, and maybe this is your goal now as well. I don't know, but you support yourself comfortably and earn more than before, probably doing this than in your day, like 9 to 5 job. But you also work more than in a regular job. So you work more to get that money. And when you are on vacation, your sales and cash flow are on vacation too. And there's no room to pay for external help, this salary still, or this revenue level. So you may have tried already assistants or like VAs or freelancers or ad agencies, but it was more hassle than any benefits to you. And time goes into clients, marketing, sales, content creation, and nothing seems to be fully finished. You're always busy. There's always more to be done. And you have growth plans in place, like you have the growth, like maybe even investment plans or like freedom plans, but the daily hustle doesn't allow room to execute them. And you are no longer at the beginning at this stage. Not at all. You already have the skills, the expertise, but you are still too crucial to your own business. And when you aim for, or you already are at 100,000 euros per month as an entrepreneur, you are building a business that feeds both your life and your future wealth. And you are working less, and now you can focus only on the things where you are irreplaceable. And you can be away for a week or 2 weeks and sales keep moving forward like clockwork because you have someone else doing that for you. And you can happily pay for experts and outsource things, delegate, have a team member, because you know that it's investing in a skilled team frees up your time for 10 times the value creation. So where you put your time and effort in will actually expand the business. And your team members solve your business problems on your behalf. And that is magical, because when you're just solo trying to do everything on your own, it's so frustrating. Like you don't even want to have higher goals because you know that it's just so like you already doing so much, and it would just make it more draining to have bigger goals. So now when you have team members coming to you that, hey, I saw this problem and I already actually solved it, that is like game changer. And you have space to think, plan, and execute ambitious growth because daily tasks no longer drain all your capacity. And your business already operates now without you. And now you are building the next level where you can be the visionary and not the project manager or the doer who is doing everything on your own, and the assistant and everything, all the hats with you. And I actually saw this on Stephen Barslett's The Diary of CEO podcast host's blog, that I really liked this, and I took some screenshots, because we all entrepreneurs, we start with this one seed of thoughts, like this idea where we want to, like, not what we want to do and what we want to grow. And what happens then is that the actual business, the reality is that we start doing all of the different things. Like I was doing for the first 2 years, launching new offers every single month. And I was even proud of it. I was thinking that everybody looks at me, thinks that I'm so efficient. And my business was like going like this. I wasn't even making it like profitably, and doing podcasts, doing like everything. And I think this is where most entrepreneurs get stuck. They don't scale, they stay here, they stay busy. I am really strongly believe that entrepreneurs, they create their own busyness by staying here. And then when you start actually scaling, it means saying no. So you start focusing on one thing, because at the end of the day, how I scaled my business was with one offer. So I was saying no to things that would have benefited me in short term. And this is where the scaling happens. You start saying no to things that, and it's hard, because it doesn't mean saying no to annoying things or things that you didn't want to do, but it also means saying no to things that actually you would find fun to do, or that would like bring in some quick cash flow or revenue to your business, but it's not just actually what you want to focus on. So that is what you need to do. So when we are talking about scaling in today's session, we are talking about this. Scaling is not about making your business bigger. Scaling is about growing out of who you were as an entrepreneur before. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about scaling in this scenario. So these 3 growth leaps that I'm going to share with you next. The first one, how to transition from the hamster wheel to the role of an owner without your business coming to a halt. And this is how our clients break free from doing everything themselves and build growth around them, not depending on themselves. And then the growth leap number 2, how to scale like a giant corporation without adding a single minute to your working hours. This is the scaling logic of McDonald's, which works in the expert business too when applied correctly. And the growth leap number 3, how to multiply your sales by up to 10 times with one small adjustment. With this adjustment, our clients serve only a handful of clients at a time and still break 30,000 euros in monthly sales. So let's go to the first one. How to transition from the hamster wheel to the role of an owner without your business coming to a halt. Right now, you are probably working on your business, or you want to be working on your business and not in it without missing a beat. But still, right now, you are used to doing everything yourself. And probably everyone around you is doing the same. They are doing a lot, and you are just trying to keep up. You see all those entrepreneurs complaining about the busyness and doing everything on their own. And that is just how it used to be. But you also know that this pace can't continue forever. Like you don't want to stay stuck in this rabbit hole. What if a smart entrepreneur measures success by the time they can spend doing what they love and not by the hours sacrificed to emails or other busy tasks that you don't want to actually be doing? What if you only become an owner when you dare to let go and allow others to succeed on your behalf? Here is the first reason why many get stuck at 10K per month and what 100K per month entrepreneurs do differently. To get a business up and running, you need to say yes to everything and do it all yourself. That is the way you've gotten to this point. But the way that got you to this point is not the same as the one that will take you to the next stage. So the first growth leap is that you need to shift from being a doer to being a leader. As an entrepreneur, you can't work like an employee. Most entrepreneurs, expert entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants come from expert roles from corporations, and they start running their own business in the same way they were used to, like working. So this change is as much about the mindset shift, but also the concrete actions that you need to take. So if you are currently feeling your work being exhausting and you're exhausted by everything that you need to do, it's because you're doing too little of what excites and motivates you the most. So you have now just like you didn't start your entrepreneurship or your business to do everything that you're currently doing. And it probably isn't what you expected it to be. And that is why now you need to start understanding and shifting these beliefs to we make money to buy back our time. So we are not just making money for the sake of making money. And also going from the thought that like we are just like, I think in the beginning you think that, well, I'm just making money to get by. I'm just making money in my business. Like my first goal as an entrepreneur was to be able to pay my rent. Like that was it. So now you need to start thinking in a different way, which is that you are making money to buy back your time. And once you get that, you also notice that 20% of what you do actually brings in 80% of the results in your business. And if you think about that, you actually are probably now doing a lot of things that only one hire or delegation could take away. So if you still don't have the assistant, you are the assistant as well. And I read this book by Dan Martell, Buy Back Your Time, another reading suggestion. And I took some notes and I wanted to share a couple of those notes when you are thinking about becoming the leader. The only way to take your business to the next level is to spend your time solely on the following three things. A, you are excellent at it. B, you truly enjoy it. And C, it brings the highest value to your business. So this is, for example, me hosting this live workshop. I'm really natural. Like if you put a camera in front of me and like ask a question, like I'm natural at performing. Like I can just like show up and talk about anything. Easier if I know about the topic, of course. But now what I've done with that skill and my unique ability to influence people by talking or writing even is that I've taken it and created this live workshop where actually I'm at the same time marketing our products and like making results for my business instead of me influencing a one person and taking a sales call, for example. Like it wouldn't make any sense for me as a leader in my business to be doing one-on-one sales calls than rather actually like leveraging that unique ability and hosting these events to hundreds of people at the same time, for example, or doing any other social media content. Because once you get like what is your unique skill, it can be something way different. Like we have this client, Heini, who is super process oriented, loves Excel sheets, creating processes. So her unique ability is that's one. And then she can have somebody else doing the marketing and the social media content, for example, for her business. Because then once you get your unique abilities, someone else should be doing 95% of all of your tasks. So think about that. Like I really believe in this and I live by this. And I even have one extra secret team member at my home coming 5 days a week, 8 hours a day as a housekeeper / nanny to take care of my toddler and like preparing food, meal prepping, cooking, going to grocery shopping, cleaning, so that I don't have to do that. So if you're thinking, how does Marianne have time to post so much on social media? I am doing that, but I'm not doing a lot of other things. So that is the reason. And you can always make more money, but you can't get more time. So also the other thing is that like you should always be thinking team members and delegation and outsourcing as investments rather than expenses. And I think this is something that really is also a mindset shift that we need to think about. And also, it gets easier when you find out your unique ability, so that when you are freeing up your time, you are actually spending that time doing something leveraged that will actually grow and expand your business, rather than just like freeing up your time and not spending your time wisely to actually grow your business and leveraging that time to get more in and the input with the same output that you're giving. And don't hire to just grow your business, but hire to buy back your time. And this is a reason why I showed you that first I would start by hiring the assistant, because if you are starting with the salesperson, because I think that is a pretty natural thing to do. I actually did it myself before I was like figuring out how to scale the business. I had a few salespeople. I needed to let them go because it just couldn't work like that. So if you get the sales people and you are already busy with the clients, and then they will get you even more clients, you just get like really spread thin. And that is why like you need to quit that sales, and you can't grow because you're already too busy. So instead, I would first free up my time with the assistant and do the sales myself. And once you have freed up your time, and once you have maybe got even the person helping you with the clients, then you can have the salesperson coming in, and then you can start scaling. But first, you need to have the strong base and free up your time before you can actually scale the business. And the last note from my notes from reading this book was, pain is not optional, but suffering is. It is painful to raise your prices. It is painful to find the right person that is actually really good and you can trust to delegate even the smallest things in your business. It is painful to do things differently in a new way, but that is like what everyone has to like come across. Like we all need to go through that pain of being uncomfortable doing new things and trying and testing new things. But suffering is optional. If we think about that, it is our option to stay stuck and not having a profitable business because we don't dare to raise our pricing, or like be victim of doing everything ourselves and just complaining about it and not doing anything about it. So that is an option. And I really love that. So here is your 3-step time freedom strategy that I now ask you to do. So think about which tasks make you lose track of time and when you feel you're at your best. And consider which 20% of tasks bring you the 80% of the results. And think about which task of your 80% you could outsource right now, immediately. Hire an assistant for even just 5 hours a week, or ask your spouse or child to take over some household task. Commit to making your first or next outsourcing step today, like whatever it is. And also, most of the time, in that 80%, there are tasks that we shouldn't be doing, and neither should anyone else. Like there are a lot of tasks that, especially as women, we are so used to doing in our household, in our businesses, that didn't actually even need to be done at all. So if you don't have the resources to actually outsource or pay someone to do something, think about what you could stop doing and quit doing immediately. That wouldn't actually change anything in your business. Take this time, because I think we are going to take a little bit more than 60 minutes today, because we still have a couple of more growth leaps going towards. And this is how Sari also freed up her time with the same system, with a remote team, and scaled her business from a side hustle to 20 to 40,000 per month. And Sari actually sent me last month a message when she was on summer holiday. this was I think the first or second time she was on summer holiday now being an entrepreneur. We have been working with her for years now, since 2022. And she sent me this message that she was so excited that once she was gone, her team was running the business and they actually ended up doing their second best monthly sales in June 2025 because of the team. They did 35,000 euros in a month with her team once, and while she was on holiday. I just posted this on my Instagram. You can see the whole story there, but like it was super exciting to get that message from her. So the second growth lead, how to scale like a giant corporation without adding a single minute to your working hours. And yeah, I can see the messages. I can see the chat while I'm presenting. So I will be going through all the questions at the end, but I saw that you were already answering the questions there. So amazing. So how to scale? And today you might be still thinking, but I am the product. How can I scale this? Like scaling requires an app or affordable online courses, or scaling inevitably means that the customer experience suffers if I'm not doing the work. What if true freedom doesn't come from doing everything yourself perfectly, but creating a business that operates perfectly without you? How would it feel to know that your business generates income even when you focus on what matters most to you? It doesn't matter if it's family, rest, or new dreams that you have. Here's another reason why so many get stuck at 10K per month and what 100K per month entrepreneurs do differently. So if you don't know how you got your most recent clients, achieving predictable and regular customer acquisition is impossible. So this next step is especially for you. If you are doing on top of sales, client work yourself, you're also trying to market on social media on the side, you need to systematize your operations by creating processes. My previous mentors told me this, that create the processes and let others run them for you. And I really love this and I've done it really. And I think what most people and entrepreneurs need is the customer acquisition process. So what is the most important for your business right now? Let's go through the process of continuous customer flow. And this is a process where the more input you put in, the more results you will get. So for example, let's start from the signal. You should be aiming to attract eyeballs to your content. And I think so many misunderstand this first step in this process. And I think it is because they don't have a process. They are just trying to get clients from social media. But when you look at this process, you can see that if you are trying to get clients directly from social media, like that is not getting the most eyeballs to your content. So many misunderstand this and try to offer their services directly on social media content. But how would you change your content if the goal were to spark interest in as many people as possible? And if you now look at my social media, I never talk about our program. I never even mention the name about the program because I understand that no one comes to social media, to TikTok, to Instagram, to YouTube. They don't come there to look for something to buy. Like that is not how you use social. You don't open Instagram to see like, oh, what kind of expensive coaching program or consulting offer I could buy today. No one does that. So you should change your goal for your social media immediately if you're doing that. And the only mission there would be to getting more eyeballs to your content. And then how you will see who is interested in from all of those who are looking at your content. You will actually use call to actions, guide those interested to raise their hands as a sign of needing help. So, for example, what this could mean is that you say that if you're interested in seeing my free training on this topic, please send me a message message me a word, guide, or free training, and I will send it to you. So with these call to actions, you probably have seen these posts all over social media, but if you haven't really acknowledged what is the strategy behind it, this is it. So you will actually use those to separate everybody else from those who are even a little bit more interested in what you have to offer and what you do. And then you will need to have the conversion mechanism. So it doesn't just it's not enough to see that, okay, well, these people are interested. Those are now your leads, but how you convert those leads into sales appointments and those sales calls through messages, for example, DMs, potential clients are guided to a sales call. So I have actually a whole breakdown on this on my YouTube channel. You can look for it on my YouTube. Marianne Lehikoinen is the name of the channel. And there you can see, I can, at the end of this video, training, I can actually link it if you want to. But I have a whole video of showing how to get those leads to become like booked calls. But this is the method, the next phase in this process. So you're not selling on those DMs, you're only using them to convert those leads into sales calls. And then the sales will happen on that meeting. So when you have a clear process and framework of running those sales calls in a specific way, you can expect a specific number and percentage becoming paying clients every time. Because then you know that, okay, well, if I get 1 client out of 5 calls, then I just need 10 calls to get 2 clients. And this all comes down to data. And a lot of entrepreneurs think that their business is broken or their business doesn't work. But if you start thinking about in this process way of everything in your business and in your sales process, you understand that it's not the business that is broken. It's probably just one part of the system that is broken. Maybe you just don't convert in a high enough percentage, or then you just don't get more people to you are struggling to get more people to see your content, or you don't know how to convert those leads into calls. So there's always it's this makes it more logical and less emotional when you think business like this. And if you also think of this with a process mindset, you will see that each of these actions mentioned above can be turned into its own process, and that process can be then outsourced or automated. You can have somebody scheduling posts for you. You don't need to be posting consistently. You can have somebody running ads for you to get even more eyeballs to your content. Then you can have ManyChat, for example. It's an automation tool where when someone sends you a message with a keyword, it will trigger an instant answer so that you don't need to be there manually answering every single message. And then you can have also a salesperson taking those sales calls if you don't want to take them yourself. This is really something that's this is how you scale, actually building these processes to your business. And the McDonald's example is really simple, that that is a business. And I actually heard someone saying that everybody can do a better hamburger than McDonald's, but not everyone can create all the systems that they have. And that is what makes McDonald's valuable. And they can have students going to the restaurants and get running the whole restaurant, these 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds, even 15-year-olds. And the result of that hamburger is the same. That is the value of that business. We don't need to create as systematized expert businesses, but we can still take a lesson or two from that, and we can create systems in our own businesses. Also, another lesson and learnings that I've had, like I mentioned already earlier, I didn't hire an executive assistant as my first hire. This is a picture of me and my executive assistant, Kia, and I'm so grateful for her. And because a reason for not hiring an executive assistant fast enough, or as early as I should have, was because I thought as an entrepreneur that no one wants to be an assistant. Like, if I don't want to do these things, why would anyone want to do these things? So what I did instead, I hired an operations manager. I hired a sales coordinator. And these roles, these people aren't even in our business anymore because those were mistakes. I thought I knew I needed an operations manager actually when I only needed an assistant. And when you bring in these operations managers or sales coordinators to your business who are working to you as assistants, like, they want higher salaries, and they like, it's not just worth it doing that way. So I would now, if I would start again, I would only hire the assistant first. And this is only a picture to show that there are people who love being executive assistant. I know Kia has said to me many times that this is her dream job, to be supporting someone rather than being an entrepreneur herself. So definitely, I would say that this is something that's to take in consideration. Also, another thing is that one of our clients were sending me these messages how her sales team, like, this was the first time she had a salesperson working for her, and they were getting clients in, and it was incredible feeling. If you love closing deals, it will be even more incredible to get a team member who is closing deals for you. Like, this is the closest you can feel to passive income without it being actually passive to your premium clients who still get the personalized touch from your salesperson. So definitely also something that is outsourceable and delegatable. And then there is also this other question, the challenge, but clients pay and buy you to train or speak or do. So how do you overcome that? Well, if you think about your recent purchasing decisions, I would bet they weren't really about anything other than you. You had a problem and you wanted to solve it. So, for example, my company, Smart Mentoring, we doesn't, for example, offer Marianne's mentoring. Instead, we offer the end result of solving the expert's growth and sales problems. And probably also you are here not because this is run by me, this training, but because you wanted to get something out of it. You wanted to grow, you wanted to learn, and you wanted to get the outcome of this training. So you free yourself from the hamster wheel of entrepreneurship by creating a process out of your expertise as well. And we will dive into that in more detail shortly. But let's go to the third growth leap. And I really hope that you still have another 15 minutes or so, because I am like talking way too much today, but I hope that it's been valuable. So how to grow and multiply your sales by up to 10 times with one small adjustment. And with this adjustment, our clients serve only a handful of clients at a time and still break 30,000 to 80,000 in monthly sales. So right now you might be thinking, well, I will hire when my sales go up, or you will scale when your customer base grows, or you will invest later in your business once you can afford it. But what if you don't need more clients, but you need a bolder pricing? What if you could charge up to 10 times your current prices? Here's the third reason why so many get stuck at 10K per month and what 100K per month entrepreneurs do differently. Many are prevented from growing because they believe it means an increase in their workload proportionally to the growing sales. And if you keep going down the same path, that is exactly what it would mean. So the third growth leap is you need to create a premium offer and attract premium clients. So everything simplified in my own business and also in my entire life when I created a one premium service offering. My company generated nearly 1 million in revenue in 1 year with one offer, one marketing strategy, and one sales process that I just shared with you. We did it organically, even without ads. And in price competition, you will quickly hit a ceiling. when you start lowering prices, there is a zero and no one can go below that, but there's no upper limit on how much you can ask. My own personal experience is that the higher the price, the easier it is to sell that when done correctly. And I have another 30 minutes YouTube video going through exactly what I mean by doing it correctly. But in short, it means positioning it so well that it's actually a good deal, whatever the price is for your client. Because like if we think about it, the price can be too expensive to like even like the without even like in all different price points, like it's too much for someone. But if you position it correctly, and I have a video about it on my YouTube channel, then it will be easier for you to actually scale. And before that, I spent an entire year trying to figure out what could be worth selling for 5,000 euros. So I sometimes open this conversation about premium pricing in these Finnish Facebook groups, and people are really like commenting like crazy, like you can't do that, like you can't just like add a zero to your prices, like that is not even ethical. But you need to shift the question, first of all, to a really different question, like what can you do to actually bring that kind of value to others? And how do you need to change, or your business need to change to actually offer something that expensive or that's in that price point? And once I learned the formula for selling premium services, I was able to create irresistible premium services time and time again. I have sold, for example, 5,000 podcast collaboration sponsorship for one episode in my podcast, which wasn't even that popular, and the most expensive online course for 25,000 euros and 50,000 euros worth of 6 hours of consulting. So this is just an example of different offers that I've done. And we've noticed also that high pricing brings many other advantages as well, and we call it the premium effect. So when you get 5,000 to 10,000 per client, you only need a handful of clients and you can already make a decent profit. For example, 20,000 per month. So you will have less clients, which means less stress, which then means you get higher quality clients because you can actually promise them a better outcome because you have the resources to actually deliver to them. And they are easier to sell to because of that, because you can promise them better outcomes. And they are better to work with because they are committed by the price themselves as well. And once you get those high quality clients, you will get better results with these committed clients. They get better testimonials, so you can use them in marketing to get even more of these high quality clients. And then what happens? You have the money to invest in scaling your business quickly through ads or creating freedom by hiring a better team because you get those high paying clients more. And this starts building momentum. As you can see, this is a flywheel which just feeds itself. It's really clear and it gives you clarity because you only need to have this one premium offer. And it increases, of course, your self-confidence when you get these clients and they get amazing results and you know how to sell it. And it makes you feel more at ease because you have the buffer money on your bank account and the purpose of getting those clients results. So there's all these great benefits to it. And on the other hand, there is this hidden cost of underpricing. And this is the downward spiral of a typical service-based entrepreneurs. They charge small amounts to get even 4,000 to 6,000 per month. And they need to take on a large number of clients to even get there. And then they will feel stressed and pressured, and they don't have really the great time to deliver. And those clients are also typically difficult to sell to and work with those because those like if you have experience, you have already noticed that when people they pay less, there's so many more problems with them and they expect more if they are giving you their last pennies, so to say. And those clients don't even get results because they are not committed. If they don't pay attention. I've heard this saying, and they don't appreciate your work as much. So you don't get good testimonials that you could use for your marketing. And that leads you don't have the resources to invest in your company growth or your team. And eventually you will burn out. And this flywheel, I've talked to so many expert entrepreneurs, and this is not coming from I'm not trying to make it up, but it's actually coming from talking to hundreds of expert entrepreneurs. And it's complex. Like typically these typical service-based entrepreneurs, they have dozens of other services on their websites. Like they try to serve a little bit of everyone, but they are also decreasing their self-confidence because when they have the knowledge, the expertise, but they don't know how to sell and they don't get the customers, they think that it's because they don't have enough experience. They need to get more certificates. But it's not about that. It's about the sales and the packaging. And then it gives them uncertainty. And do they need to get back to a regular 9 to 5 job or a paid job, back to employees, and the frustration because they stay stuck. And I've talked to entrepreneurs who have been there for 30 years, really a long time, working with this model and being in this model. So what are the elements of a premium offer? So first you need the irresistible end result. And if it makes it hard to think about irresistible, brave outcome that you could promise, just take away the irresistible, just have an end result. That will already separate you from 99% of expert entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants who are not offering any end results in their offers. Then when you have the end result, the more irresistible it is, the easier it is to sell, you will pinpoint the obstacles that your client faces. So what are the obstacles that your clients will face when trying to get to the irresistible end results? And when you get those pain points or the obstacles pinpointed, you will think about creative solutions to overcome those obstacles. So what that creative solution could be, for example, what we did, we actually spent more than 3 years coaching our clients and guiding them to create their premium offers. And it would took from a couple of weeks to even more than a month. And that would they would start losing momentum. They would be busy doing other stuff and they wouldn't get so good results that we thought that our program would get them. So what we did instead was that why wouldn't our team actually create the offer for the clients? That would be really irresistible, that they didn't need to spend all that time doing that themselves and learning a new skill of creating these irresistible offers. So what we did, we changed the model to done for you. And we actually, now the client only uses 3 hours approximately answering our questions, and we are interviewing them so that we know how to rate with our experience of working with more than 500 clients. We already know what it needs to have in place, the offer to be irresistible. So that is how we changed a really typical offer and now separated and became this category of one in our industry, in our market, because we have this different type of creative solution. Then you start thinking about the delivery, because you can deliver the outcome in multiple different ways. It can be one-on-one, it can be group, it can be online, offline, in person, remote, whatever. You need to think about how you deliver that end result in a way that is sustainable and fun for you. And then this is if you add all of these things, this will then end up being the ultimate winning premium offer that should really take you apart from the market and your competition and separate yourself into your own category of one, so that your clients, they don't even have anyone to compare your offer to, so that it doesn't actually even matter what is the price point in which you are now offering your offer. But you might be thinking that no one, especially in this current world situation, would buy with premium prices. But let's do the math. If the goal was to get to 30,000 euros per month, you would need 3 10K clients. So less than 1 per week in a month, or 10 3,000 clients. If your goal would be to get to 100,000 euros per month, you would need 8 12,500 clients. So 2 clients per week, or 25 times 4,000 clients. We have a client who sells their wellness coaching at a price of 3,500. And in B2B sector, it's really common to close those 5-figure deals. Like our client success manager, Vera, shared that her client, Mia, had secured a 12,000 partnership agreement. And we've had clients who have sold their expertise with a monthly billing of 5,000 per month. So if you now think about your target audience, which likely consists of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of people or companies, do you think you could get a handful of clients every single month from there if you had the right tools to do so? That is exactly what our client Pia, for example, did. She went from less than 2,000 per client to more than 10K per client and grew her revenue from 10K per month to 30K per month. And if you count that, like it actually meant in 10K, she was serving to 5 clients. And now in 30,000, she only needed 3 clients to get there. So actually doing less. And she even outsourced because she had the revenue now and the money, the cash flow to hire and delegate. And now she's built a team, and we have been working with her also since 2023. So I know we are still working together to scale the business even further. She is a branding and marketing strategist business. So imagine this moment in the future. You wake up peacefully, not in a rush. You open your computer, but without pressure, because the business no longer rests solely on your shoulders. Throughout the day, you focus only on the tasks where you are unique, the ones that excite you and bring the most value to your business. And your clients don't need to be lured in because they are lining up for a spot in your service, because a clear and predictable sales process that works like a well-oiled machine. And your team can handle the operational work, even the sales, and you just steer the direction. And you can hire, develop, and grow because the cash flow no longer only brings in income, but also profits. And when you go on vacation or decide to shut down your computer earlier, the business continues running steadily without you. You are no longer the bottleneck in your business. You are its leader. So right now, I don't know why my slides were off. So I understand now. Or you might be thinking that I understand that this works, but my situation doesn't feel that simple. I'm not sure how to implement this in a way that actually brings in a steady 30,000 to 100,000 monthly revenue without constant overload. So our mission is clear: to help ambitious expert entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants build a business that provides more freedom, profit, and impact that they ever thought even possible, just like you have seen here with the results that I've shared. And we are now looking for a few more dream clients. So I would like to invite you to a brief discovery meeting if you meet the following criteria. So this will be a free discovery, and this is for a coaches or experts who knows that you can help a larger number of people with your unique skills. But right now, your valuable work is only bringing in a barely noticeable amount of billing. And you're ready to step up as a top expert in your field, but you're just not sure how to do that because you're already overwhelmed with work. Or you're tired to you have tried to free up your time and generate passive income with online courses, but selling courses for a few tens of or hundreds of euros only ends up taking more of your time and energy. And you've reached the point where the only way to grow your business is to add more working hours into your evenings and weekends just to get a few extra €100 to bill. So right now, I will publish this link and I will ask you to look at that. So the most important thing is to first determine our compatibility as your partner. So first, fill out a short application for one-on-one marketing strategy session with our team members. So then what you will get is to speak with our team's business consultants about your current situation. And we will start working with you to figure out the fastest possible way to reach even your boldest goals. So our biggest differentiator is getting results. And for that reason, we carefully choose who we work with. We want that if you start collaborating with us, it pays back many times over within the first 12 weeks. And the truth is that we can't help everyone. And we do say no to a large percentage already in the first meeting if we can't be 100% sure that we can help. So let's determine that A, we are the best possible partner to help you, and B, you are ready to commit and do your part to achieving outstanding results. So this is only for those who truly want to scale their business to even €100,000 pace monthly within the next year or so. So either one or two things will happen. Either we are a match and we offer you an invitation to work as one of our clients, or if we don't match, that is completely okay too. So there will be no hard feelings, no obligations or anything. So check the link below, because in either case, you get an incredible, valuable strategy session and leave with a new kind of clarity about where you are right now and what's preventing you from achieving the results you want. So this combined with precise next steps that are needed so you can take action and get past the obstacles, it's probably the most valuable 45 minutes that you will invest in your business this year. So fill out your application now and let's see if we could work together. So what will happen? Here's what we will build for you: the premium service that reflects the true value of what you offer. So we will be putting the pricing for you and the positioning for you and thinking about the client acquisition model that doesn't burn you out and the business model that brings time, trust, and freedom to you, and coming up with the sales materials that work right away. So we will work and do that for you. So you will get the sales systems that you can start using within the first few weeks, and also the daily support. So you will never feel alone with any questions, because the proven processes are the way to a predictable flow of premium clients and freeing up your time from daily tasks. So you can focus on the tasks that interest you the most and do also more in life than just work. And as a thank you for those participating in this live training today, if you make the booking during this live session or the link that is now below this training, you will also receive my Success Money Mindset course. It's totally for free. And this is a course that has helped our most successful clients have the breakthrough. They're breaking their invisible ceilings and achieving their biggest sales months ever. Because like I said, it's not just about the actions that you take, but also the mindset behind that. So book now before all the slots are taken from the calendar. And if there's any questions, I'm really happy to answer them right now.